Congresswoman Joyce Beatty and Republican Senator Rob Portman are known as collaborators. In fact, they've worked together on the issue of human trafficking. But do they see a hope for an end to the logjam on Capitol Hill? I talked to both of them about the immigration crisis and government divided. First, Congresswoman Beatty, who says President Obama's recent trip to Texas gave him new insight into the immigration crisis there.
I think after he got there, and he, as a father, as a president, once he witnessed all of those children there, and the numbers keep increasing, that it is very clear to him, as it is to me. I'm going to be very out front on this. I support the president. I think we need to put the dollars there. We have those dollars for this, and we should take care of that. They're children, and we should not confuse this with the partisan politics, what we're doing or not doing with immigration. I think the border situation is very different, and we should take care of those children.
Well, you know, the immigration situation, we've been talking about this practically since Barack Obama took office, and there's still no resolution to that. What has to happen to make the country move forward on an immigration policy that Congress can accept?
I think what has to happen, and it's overarching, it's not just immigration, it's a multiplicity of things. I think the public has to insist that Democrats and Republicans start working together. If I could brag a little bit on Ohio, we have a great jump start because we have agreed to not be disagreeable, to find some common ground. Now, we don't agree, my two colleagues, we don't agree on everything, but we found common ground.
You're talking about Steve Stivers and Pat
Yes,
Tiberi,
there are some issues that we have found common ground on health care, on some issues that deal with banking and finance that creates jobs. So I think if the American public wants to do anything, they have to insist that we stop this stalemate. So if we continue like this without the public insisting that we do a better job, we're not going to be able to create more jobs. We're going to have a problem with early childhood education. We're going to have trouble with our highways. We're going to have all these short-term fixes to continue, and that does not help the economy.
Let's talk about the highway bill. The Senate is now kind of dickering back and forth on that, but are you optimistic that that's moving forward, and what will that mean to Central Ohio?
Well, I'm optimistic a little more because August, which is just a month away, the Reauthorization Act will have to be extended. And one of the things we've been doing, short-term fixes, and we can't do this. We can't do a 6-month fix. We have to extend it. Right here in Ohio, we have some 2,500 bridges, and they need to be repaired. This is about creating jobs, keeping people at work, but it's also about health and safety. Prior to going to Congress, part of my journey here, I actually went out and stood on the highway with workers who were advocating for us to, at that time, extend the Highway Reauthorization Act. So I'm fully supportive, and I'm going to push as hard as I can for us to put those appropriate dollars there.
You know, you talked a few seconds ago about cooperation and bipartisan support. As we head into the final half of the second term for Barack Obama, we see a continued stalemate between the president, between members of Congress, and, you know, do you predict that something is going to break that log jam, or are we going to see this almost like a lame duck presidency for the last 2 years of his administration?
I think we will have some breaks in a few items. I think that it is not non-traditional in the last 6 to 9 months that a president becomes lame duck. I think President Obama has been given a harder, unfair hit. I think some of it is the many folks in the country, they were not prepared for a President Barack Obama in the first term, and then when he won again. I think when you're a pioneer and you're the first of anything, being an African-American president, in my opinion, has been twice as hard than any other president has had. So I think that a lot of that is what we're seeing.